Welcome back to Just the Tips, brought to you by Centimetre Perfect. That is Jesse. I am Liam, and we're back to tip round 20 action in the AFL. The season is nearly done. Why? Where has this year gone, Jesse? It's crazy. How are you feeling about round 20?
I'm pumped for round 20. It's de facto rivalry round. If only we could make this an actual round instead of stupid round in Adelaide and even stupider round at the start of the season. This is what the people want. This is great. It's de facto rivalry round.
Love to see it. Love to see it. We work here on confidence points on Just the Tips. Before we get to that, I've jumped ahead, Jesse. I'm so excited as well.
You're pumped.
I'm pumped. At @CMPerfect_AFL on Instagram, YouTube, Apple, Amazon, Spotify. Those last three for our main podcast. Please come and join us there. Confidence points. That's where I was at before I got rudely interrupted by myself. What are they, Jesse? Tell people.
Run sheets are overrated. Confidence points are our way of making the competition a bit more interesting in season 2025. Instead of Liam and I tipping straight out which team we think is going to win each game, we assign a weighted points to each matchup throughout the week. 9 points going to the team we are most confident in getting the job done. A sure thing, if you will. One being the team that we think is just about a coin flip to deny their opposition, but should still end up in the winner's side of the copybook. Whoever has the most points at the end of the home and away season will be confidence points champion. You do not need to have the most correct tips, just the most amount of points.
And that came to the fore this week, Jesse, because I actually had 3 tips less than you, I think. Or I had 3 wrong. You had 2 wrong. One of the 2. I tipped less right than you. However, I got 34 points, taking me to 517. You got 33, taking you to 509, which goes to show that it's not always getting it right. It's how confident you are in the games.
Absolutely.
How does that make you feel, Jesse?
Worried, because we're getting to that point of the season now where I need to start turning this around.
You have to start chucking some roughies out there, just going crazy with it.
That won't happen.
No, you're too sensible. You're too sensible.
I think you're more likely to throw out roughies even while winning. Just
Correct.
Because you're you.
That's what I do. That's what I do. Let's move to Thursday night football. The first game off the ranks for round 20, the Hawks. Nope, this is your job, Jesse. My apologies. I'll calm down one day.
That's all right. It's a matchup straight out of 1984. Hawthorn taking on Carlton. Bit less spice these days in 21st century AFL. The Hawks need to win to keep assuring themselves of playing in September, while Carlton need to keep restoring some pride. Now, Liam, I'm a loser again. I will just go first, as is tradition.
It's so sweet to hear, Jesse. It's so sweet to hear.
Lowering myself down to your level. I'm up first here. Hawthorn with 4 for me. They should be able to get the job done here against Carlton. I don't think Carlton are a particularly good side, but the Blues could just collapse this game and make it a really ugly fight. Mm-hmm. That makes me less confident in the Hawks. I don't think the Hawks are going to smash Carlton on Thursday night. I'd be a touch surprised if they did. I think this will be a bit of a knife fight at the G with the Hawks coming out on top.
Fair enough. I've got the Hawks, a bit more confidence with 7. And these are the ones that get funky. If the Carlton Blues can pull something off, that could do me a big old misjustice. Let's go on to the next round. Let's go to the next game, Jesse. All right, see, now I've peaked now. My excitement's come here, and now I've gone here. Friday night. There's 2 games on Friday, Jesse. We've got one of these stupid rounds again. The Bombers, primetime Bombers, going against the Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium.
Did you just forget that was my bit again?
Yeah.
That's okay. You're up first here, Liam. My introduction be damned. Who do you think's going to win? And also pick the margin. This is our margin game this week.
It is the margin game. Oh, what? I'm so full of beans. Do you know what it is, Jesse?
Should I just go? I'll just send you my tips and just, okay. Who do you have to win, Liam?
I'm not used to winning. That's what it is. I've got the Bulldogs to win with 6, Jesse. I think the Bulldogs should get this done quite easily over the Bombers. The Bombers are just not very good at the moment. I don't think that's a controversial thing to say. So much so, I think they're going to win by 54 points, nearly 10 goals, a 9-goal win for the Bulldogs for this one for me, Jesse. Yeah, what do you reckon?
Dogs with 9 and a margin of 74 for me. Essendon are as poor of a side in the competition as you're going to see at the moment. The Dogs simply have to win to keep their Varners' ambitions alive. That's a powerful motivator. Essendon don't have any defensive answers for the Dogs. They certainly don't have any offensive answers to hurt the Dogs. Unless this game just turns into a 25 versus 40 ludicrous game, which under Marvel's roof, it really shouldn't.
No.
This could get as ugly as it did earlier in the season when these two sides met. This could be an absolute humiliation for the Bombers.
Hey, maybe the roof will get stuck open again like it did the other week and make a really slippery game. Probably not. Let's move on to the next one. Jesse, your turn.
My turn. The Giants hosting the Swans in the Battle of the Bridge at NG Stadium. They might even crack a 5-figure crowd for this one. I'm up first here. Giants with 3. Sydney have woken up a little bit in the last few weeks. They're still not very good, but they're winning games now, and they're showing a bit. They would love to spoil the party for their crosstown rivals and put them back into finals jeopardy. And they've gotten a lot of their key players back as well. Speaking there of likes of he's not a player. The likes of Goulden, Heaney. They're getting some key figures back in that side who are having an impact on games. In saying that, though, pound for pound, I think the Giants right now have a better list. They've certainly got a better coach, and they should have a better winning chance on Friday.
Copy and paste, Jesse. Giants with 3 for me as well. They've said it well. The Swans have started to look pretty good the last few weeks, but look, if the Giants are wanting to be serious finals players, this is a game they just have to win. Let's move on to the next one.
Brisbane hosting the Gold... no, they're not. Gold Coast, this is why you're doing the intros this week. Gold Coast hosting the Brisbane Lions at People First Stadium on Saturday afternoon. Promises to be one of the most significant Q clashes of all time. Brisbane could potentially see themselves top of the ladder for a day if they get this job done, while Gold Coast could find themselves in real trouble of slipping out of that top 8 if the Dogs do get the job done against the Bombers the night before, as we have suggested will happen, Liam. What happens here in the most important Q clash of all time?
Jesse, what have I done the last 2 weeks with the Suns?
You've backed them in.
Backed them with 1. I'm going to do it again. 3rd time's a charm. I reckon, at People First, they're a different team. We all know that. They have been for a couple of years now. I reckon this is going to be a really good chance for them to rise to the occasion and see what Hardwick has actually done with this squad. It's going to be a tough game to win. Immensely tough. The Lions are very good. But I'm also kind of wanting this to happen just for the end of the season to keep that little battle for 8th a bit more interesting, a bit more cutthroat. Have that Suns Essendon game actually be for something at the end there. That'll be interesting. It'll be tough. Gold Coast with the 1. Jesse.
You can always make it interesting, but loser has to take on Peter Wright's contract. I've got Lions with 2.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Okay.
I agree with what you're saying, Liam, and there's an absolute factor of the get up for this for the Suns, plus the fact they need to win, really, to keep themselves assured in that top 8. But Brisbane they're such a complete side that unless I have a really, really compelling reason to tip against, apart from this side needs to win game, I'm probably not going to do it. I've gone very low confidence points because I do absolutely concede there's a real scenario here where Gold Coast do win this game. But I'm erring on the side of Lion caution here and going with Brisbane. I just think pound for pound across that ground, they have more players that Gold Coast need to shut down than vice versa. The Brisbane need to shut down of the Suns.
I'm not overly upset that you've only gone 2 there. If that was any higher, I might have been in a bit of trouble. Let's move on to the next game.
Fremantle hosting West Coast in the Western Derby, Saturday afternoon footy at Optus Stadium. A glorious time slot for Derby football, 2:15 on a Saturday afternoon, if you do not mind. I am up first here. Fremantle with 8. Now, I undeniable with this. I went as low as 5 at one point here with Fremantle because it's a derby, and I've seen our coach and this team, and I know what they're capable of when they get too arrogant with it.
See last year, right?
Yeah, well, Exhibit A, Your Honour. But look, they simply put, taking that emotion out of things, if Freo can't win this, they're not a finals team.
Yep.
West Coast absolutely have something to prove, and I don't think they will be rolling over, much like they did in 23 when it was a 100-point smashing in this fixture. I don't think that's going to be the case here. But Fremantle should be able to get the job done here. Anything less than getting the job done here, that puts the pressure right back on the playing group, right back on the coach, and right back on the team to even get a sniff of finals because, if your confidence points are correct, Fremantle need to then avoid the Suns, who win +4 on your estimation, and avoid the Dogs, who win +4 on your estimation, and the Giants, who win +4 on your estimation. +4 points, that is. So that's a huge risk for Fremantle. They just simply have to get the job done. There's non-negotiable games throughout the rest of the season. This is as non-negotiable as it gets for the Dockers.
It would be very Freo to beat,
Yes.
go back to back, have a massive win over Collingwood and then lose this game. Dockers with 9. I'm backing them in all the way. This is the game they have to win. They just have to. If they don't, if it's close, I'm probably still going to be pretty upset. But that's okay. A win's a win. We'll take it any way we can. Let's move on, Jesse, to the next one.
Saturday night football comes to you from Marvel Stadium with North Melbourne hosting Geelong. The Roos have had some honourable losses in recent weeks. They'll want to get themselves back in the winners list if they can against a very good side, whereas Geelong just need to keep on rolling into September. Liam, you're up first here. Could the Roos pull off a monumental upset, or is it just a case of we are Geelong, the greatest team of all?
Why not? They've nearly done it before. They got very close to knocking off Brisbane earlier this year. But no, Geelong with 5. I've gone Geelong with 5, only because I think there's other games. Well, I've already used my other points. What am I talking about? The Cats are very, very good. The Kangas, I think they'll give it a fight, but yeah, Geelong are going to be too good for them, Jesse. Not much more to add than that. What do you reckon?
Geelong with 6 for me. I think it is a case of they're just too strong of an opposition, and Geelong have been able to really damage teams in that lower bracket of the ladder this season. I don't think the Kangas will be able to avoid that.
Easy done. Let's move on to the next one.
Adelaide hosting Port Adelaide in a showdown. It's another epic rivalry clash, this time on Saturday night. I'm up first here. I'm going Adelaide with 5. Port can make this interesting, just like they did at the start of the season. But Adelaide, they're starting to roll now. They would feel very aggrieved if they dropped this for reasons more than just state pride. They need to just keep the momentum going, keep building the big wins. Percentage isn't a concern, so they just need to win games at this point in time. Exhibit A here, just need to get the job done against Port, who absolutely will feel a bit of motivation in Ken's last showdown to extract a bit of revenge on their crosstown rivals.
Yeah, unlike the other derby, this is kind of a derby of sorts. These two teams are much closer together. So I've gone Adelaide as well, just with the 4, because I think the Power can definitely put something onto the park that can challenge the Crows. But like you said, Jesse, everything you've said is spot on. I'm going to say this a lot for the next few rounds, I reckon. If these guys want to play finals, they got to get this done. And for the Crows, if they want to make top 4, they got to get this stuff done. So I think they'll be too strong for the Power. Let's move on to the next one.
Richmond play host to Collingwood on the MCG on Sunday afternoon. It should be a game where Collingwood will need to pick up the pieces, having lost two games on the bounce and looking to surge back up the ladder. Whereas the Tigers, well, they've won their last 2 games on the bounce. They've picked up 5 wins across the season, a huge result for them, given where they were thought to be heading at the start of the year. Liam,
yes,
this would be something else if Collingwood were to drop more points to Richmond. Is it possible?
What would the narrative be, Jesse, if the Magpies were to lose this one as well?
Richmond for premiers.
Richmond for premiers, why not? No, Magpies with 8. I think this is going to be a big win for the Magpies. They need to. The Tigers, look, they had a good game last week against the Eagles, but they've shown against the bigger teams, the better teams, they just don't cut the mustard, unfortunately. Give it a crack, though, Tigers. Give it a crack. What do you reckon, Jesse?
Yeah, mustard staying in the fridge here for this one. Collingwood with 7 for me. I do give Richmond some weight here and some opportunity here, mostly because I wanted to put the Dogs on with 9 because they're horrible. But look, I don't see a world where Collingwood don't win this game across the board. There's maybe 1 out of 100 scenarios where Richmond do win this, but that scenario still exists.
That's true. It always does in sport. Let's go on to the very last game of the round, the one that might be just a bit of a coin toss.
Yes, St Kilda hosting Melbourne at Marvel Stadium on Sunday. If there ever was a game to describe a Sunday afternoon at Marvel Stadium in July to August, I would point them to this. There might be 3,000 people at this game, and 1,000 of them will be the people serving the hot chips. I'm up first here. St Kilda with 1. I actually think they're a better side than Melbourne at the moment. I think their damaging players can inflict more damage on the opposition than Melbourne's can. This St Kilda's form has been horrible since beating Fremantle by 10 goals at about round 7. It's been absolutely appalling, but their on-field play has shown something. This is the type of game where you keep Nazar Wangan and Miller interested, but you get the job done against Melbourne. This is more than just 4 premiership points here for me, Lem. How do you see it?
I've gone Saints with 2. I thought we might have a bit of a cheeky one side of the coin or the other. We have to save that for the Q clash.
We have a 2-sided coin.
That's right. But I agree with you. The Saints for 15th, and you've said it a few times this year, look better than a 15th place side. The Demons, you don't know what you're going to get. I was worried last week that we'd get the game or the kind of team that you had a few weeks back where you had the argy-bargy. We didn't have that with the Demons, but it showed that they're not quite gelling as well as we may have thought. Whereas the Saints seem to be doing just fine in the gelling. Just can't do that last bit, which is win the game.
Execution's not there.
It's not there. So a really good chance for them to break the streak of losses and get the win. Jesse, that'll do us for the tips this week. You had a perfect chance to put 9 on the Dockers this week. You wanted to do it one time. You didn't do it this week. When are you going to do it?
Against Dogs in last week.
Get going.
Because why not?
You'll be down by 7 or 8, and you'll be like, stuff it.
Well, that was Centimetre Perfect, Liam. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Check out the main podcast on the rest of YouTube and Apple, Amazon, and Spotify if you haven't. Also, keep an eye on YouTube on Thursday. We are releasing a new bonus episode of Centimetre Perfect that I'm sure at least someone out there is bound to enjoy. Until then, enjoy your footy weekend. I'm Jesse. That's Liam. We'll see you soon on Centimetre Perfect.
Bye, everybody.